Hey you all, Carpetbagger here. I'm coming to you from a long and windy road in Franklin, Indiana, back in the cornfields. I'm headed back to my bunker, to my home, to my wife, after this 7-day maniacal, maybe 8 days, I think 8 days, maniacal road trip of insanity. I filmed so much. I have filmed so many things. When I do these 7-day road trips, I pack in so much stuff and film so many things that I can't even remember until I look at my computer and get everything edited, because there's so much crammed in there. But I'm excited. You'll be seeing lots of videos from Wisconsin and the surrounding areas in the upcoming weeks as I get them edited and get them uploaded. And it has been an amazing trip, but with amazing trip comes great responsibility, and I have had a few incidents this week. After the meetup, I went to stay at look for a hotel. I used Priceline to find hotels, and I found that the Hyatt Regency in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, was on Priceline. It was only $60 on Priceline, so that's a really good deal for a nice hotel like that. And I'd already paid to park my car, so it wouldn't make sense to leave. It was getting a little late. I was getting tired, so I hung out there. Oh, I dropped my SD card somehow at the front desk when I pulled my wallet out, and I walked back and forth to my car 3 times trying to find it. Then finally I walked up to the front desk and realized it had come out, but I did find it, so I was excited there. Next morning I check out, and a couple days later I realize, I look at my bank, check my bank account, and I look, and I've been charged twice for the room, once by Priceline and once by Hyatt. Then you try to get that sorted out. They refund you, but apparently whenever you get refunded, I think from anywhere basically, it takes like 4 days for it to go back into your bank account. So that sucks, because it's not like I have a pile of money stored away somewhere. I carefully planned out my money, and that kind of interfered a little bit, but luckily it came back in time to cause any catastrophe, and that's all cleared and good. But that would not be my last problem with hotels on this trip. This one's kind of my fault. Last night when I was leaving, and I was brain fried, and for some reason I had my pole suitcase. I left that sitting on the side of the road, not the side of the road. See, I'm still brain fried. On the sidewalk in front of my motel room, and I didn't realize it till I got back to Indiana. So that's like 6 hours away. I called them, like, oh yeah, we got your back, we got your suitcase. And I said, okay, can I pay the postage to have you guys ship it to me? Oh, we don't do that. Like, well, what do you mean you don't do that? I'll pay for it. Oh, the lady says, well, this is a family-run hotel. I work here 24 hours a day, and I can't leave the property ever. I don't know how she gets groceries or eats, but that's beside the point. Thing is, they weren't going to send it. They weren't going to nothing I could do could get them to send it to me. I would, of course, not expect them to pay anything to ship it to me, but I would think, and I could be wrong, that might be standard procedure in hotels, that if people leave things in the room, you send it back to them at their expense. But you do send it back to them. So anyway, I was able to get in touch with a friend that I met at the meetup, and they live close enough where they're willing to go get it for me and ship it to me. I had a lot of clothes in there. I tend to overpack because I get afraid that I'm gonna get my clothes wet or dirty. So I like to bring a lot of extra clothes with me. So a lot of extra clothes are sitting in a suitcase in a hotel in the Wisconsin Dells right now. But that'll resolve itself. So no worries there. One more thing happened. An unfortunate occurrence happened on this trip, and that is when I was leaving my brother Zach's mom when I was leaving her bed and breakfast, I hit a deer. There's lots of deer up there. I actually had dodged a few other deers. They run right out in front of cars. It sucks. And then this happened to my car. As you see right there, like the entire panel smashed off. It's actually being held on with an old phone cord. See, that is, yeah. This whole thing just like came off, busted up this. You can see it's still got the deer hair literally embedded in the plastic there. Really sucks. I hate the fact that I hurt an animal. I hate the fact that my car is messed up. It's just all around bad situation. But the good thing is, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be expensive. But I called my insurance company, and they said the deductible will only be $100, which really shocked me. I guess a deer running out is like an act of God or something, like because the deer doesn't have insurance, they don't have to go after the deer's insurance. Because I think normally when you, like last time someone hit me, they wanted a $500 deductible, which is a lot of money for me. But 100, yeah, I can swing 100. That's no problem. So that was good news. I can get this, hopefully get the Carpetmobile fixed up when I get back into town. Not e-begging. I got enough cash to cover it. Don't worry about me. So, you know, ups and downs, good times, bad times, all folded together. Not too worried about anything, just happy to go home. Actually going on vacation when I get home. We're going to the lake for a few days for our family reunion. It's kind of how I planned. I was taking Annabelle up, dropping her off with my mom. Then my mom's gonna, actually just left my mom's, but she's gonna meet me down with Anna down in North Carolina at the lake where I have some family that live at a lake. We're gonna get a house, rent a house, and stay there with my mom, my stepdad, my brother and sister, and of course mystery wife and Anna. But I didn't just pull off on the side of the road here for no reason. I did want to show you guys something for today. I'm really eager to get home. I really want to see my wife and see my own bed. But I did want to pull off, because this isn't too far off the road, to show you something cool. This was suggested to me by my friend Ian, and I'm actually standing on someone's grave right now. This is the grave of Nancy Curlin Barnett. As you see, a lot of people left pennies for her. You see, this grave is actually in the middle of the highway right here. As you saw a second ago, she's buried in, I think, 1831, that said. And they were going to move the cemetery to build this road, and her son did not like the idea of her being dug up. So he sat on top of her grave, and at the time it was actually a mound grave. It was a pile of rocks. She was actually buried above ground, like in a natural mound covered in rocks. Her son sat on top of the mound with the shotgun, and the highway department, or whatever it was called back then, did not want to mess with him and simply built the road around him and the grave. So presumably all the other graves were moved except for Nancy's. But actually, a year or so ago, they decided to do some work on this. As I said, it was a mound grave, and apparently people kept running into the mound. People kept crashing into Nancy all these years. For over 100 years, people ramming their cars into Nancy's grave. So they're figure, okay, we got to do something about that. We can't just have people ramming a grave with their cars. So they actually exhumed, they opened up the mound and exhumed Nancy. They were a little surprised. Apparently there was 7 bodies in there. So I don't know who the other 6 people were. So it's Nancy plus 6, I guess. I guess they don't have names for the rest of these skeletons. Just Nancy. And but they did, they paved the area that was the mound, and they placed Nancy and the mystery skeletons back into the road, finally burying her underground. So So reburied after quite some time. Now, it may be hard to rest in peace in the middle of a highway. Alright, so I'm going to get home and I'm going to start editing videos. I'll be uploading them as they come. At this point, I don't know when my next trip will be. I'll try to regroup. I don't really have any plans right now. I think I'm just going to focus on getting this trip, absorbing this trip. I'm getting a little old to be traveling in this manner. I loved it, but there is a certain amount of taxing nature to driving for 7 days and being in a different city every single night. That's what I do. So I don't know, maybe I need to slow down a little bit, maybe only do one city next time or one area, but I like to see as much as possible. So it's a lot of self-regulation. I've probably, there were some days I drove, like for instance, when I drove up to my brother Jack's, I drove from Milwaukee, from the town he lives in, so it was 3.5 hours there. And then I picked him up. We drove 1.5 hours to see something, 1.5 hours back. So that's 7 hours in one day. So that's what my schedule has been like this whole time. Just driving. I'm starting to hate the inside of my car. So I'm sure within 2 or 3 days of sleeping in my own bed, I will be itching to get back in my car and get back on the road. But for now, oh my gosh, I want to be home. I want to see my wife. Alright, appreciate you guys watching. For now, this road trip is in the bag. Oh yeah, also, this town has the world's largest rocking chair.